don't you know she's disfellowshipped? I'm going to tell my parents, like, I no longer want to be a Jehovah's Witness. So I'm going to see what they say. No, but we ignored her because she's disfellowshipped and she never came back. If you are a baptized Jehovah's Witness, and then for whatever reason you decide that you no longer want to be a Jehovah's Witness because you do not believe in the teachings and the practices of Jehovah's Witnesses, and you go and tell the elders and say, hey, I don't believe in this anymore. Like, I don't want to be a Jehovah's Witness anymore. You will get disfellowshipped. There's no if, and, buts about that. Like, that is a known fact amongst active baptized Jehovah's Witnesses, even unbaptized Jehovah's Witnesses. And I don't know how long this girl has been a witness or not, but she said she was baptized, disfellowshipped, and reinstated. And it sounds like she's still an active Jehovah's Witness. So I would assume she would know that. Now, you become an apostate when you actively start talking against the religion to other people, and then you are labeled as an apostate, right? So even if you're not an apostate and you just say, hey, I no longer believe in this religion, you get disfellowshipped. And so if you are an individual who has family who are Jehovah's Witnesses, okay, and because you no longer believe in the teachings and the practices, they will not talk to you once you get announced that you're disfellowshipped. Like, that is a known fact. Okay. Also, too, what's so even more detrimental about this is that it's not just your family, but it's also the friends of the religion too. But the leaders of the organization will also tell the members to not befriend anybody else outside of the religion. Okay. So if you go to work and they're not a Jehovah's Witness, your coworkers are not Jehovah's Witnesses, you are not to befriend them. You can be friendly. That's about it. You are not to become buddy-buddy with that person. That is like viewed as a no-no. You do not do that. You are spiritually weak if you are doing that. Okay. So when you get disfellowship, you're like really out in the cold. Okay. And here's the other aspect to that. A lot of individuals are encouraged to get baptized at a young age. Okay, so there's kids getting baptized at 11, 12, young age like that, right? And they could start doing their education or learning or whatever, or however they come across certain things and start realizing, like, hold on, some of this stuff is not historically correct about what I was being taught at the Kingdom Hall. And now I done stumbled across this information and I cross-referenced it and this is not lining up. And then, like, there's some practices that's going on in the organization that I also just don't like. Like, for example, this is a real life situation, right? With me. I would go, like, to the mall or something like that with a group of other Jehovah's Witness friends. And we would see another Jehovah's Witness member that had been disfellowshipped, okay? And this individual was older, okay? And she was old enough to be my mom. And like, she used to babysit me, watch after me, and all these little different things. And she was disfellowshipped. So we're walking past her. So me and the group are walking this way, and then she's walking this way. So, I wave and say, hi, sister so-and-so. And then, she like kind of like waves and like keeps walking, right? Because she knows she's not supposed to talk to me. And she's kind of looking like, you aren't supposed to do that, Kirby. But she also kind of still appreciated that I acknowledged her. Okay, well, the rest of the group, after the coast is clear, they're like, don't you know she's disfellowshipped? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, you're not supposed to talk to her. And I'm just like, yeah, I know. But like, I really respect this woman because of all the things that she's done for me. Like, she's like another mother. She's been a motherly person to me. Right? To me, it was highly disrespectful for me to see someone that I know and not acknowledge them. Right? But they saw it as something against God. And that's when I kind of first got my bad taste in my mouth of what that was like at a young age and being like, yeah, I don't like this. Okay? Now, I'm going to give another example. Say there is a young individual who got baptized, okay? And let's say it's a girl at 18 years old. Okay. And her parents are also Jehovah's Witnesses, and maybe she's like 3rd generation Jehovah's Witness, right? Her whole circle are just Jehovah's Witnesses, all her friends and her family, and she did go to public school or something like that. I don't know. Okay, I'm just painting a picture here. And she starts learning some things, and she's like, you know, I don't like the practices and the teachings that Jehovah's Witnesses are, you know, promoting and all this little different stuff. And like, I got baptized at 14, but I'm going to tell my parents, like, I no longer want to be a Jehovah's Witness. So I'm going to see what they say. So she goes to the parents and says, hey, mom and dad, like, I no longer want to be a Jehovah's Witness. I don't believe this, you know, because this is not historically correct. I don't like this teaching, you know, or this practice that Jehovah's Witnesses say to do, you know, with this fellowshipping. And, you know, like, I'm just tired of going out in field service all the time. And like, I really want to, you know, play volleyball. Like, I just really want to play volleyball. And they're like, nope. If you do that, you will be disfellowshipped. And this girl is like sure of herself. She's standing 10 toes down, and she's 16, and she goes to the elders and says, listen, I don't believe this stuff is historically correct. And then tries to show what she has learned. Okay. And then she's like, also too, like, I'm really interested in playing volleyball. This would be a really great opportunity for me. Like, I should be able to express my talents. This is a God-given talent that I have. Like, I'm really good at it. And I can be living in a prosperous and abundant life now. The life that I'm living now, the life that I was granted now. And they're like, yep, nope, we're going to disfellowship you because you don't seem to get it. And you're standing 10 toes down in this. And she's like, yeah, I am. And so she gets disfellowshipped, and she's only 16. Okay. So then the elders go to her parents and say, hey, you know, you're a ministerial servant, brother so-and-so, and your daughter's disfellowshipped. She's doing all these things that are not according to the rules. You know, if you're trying to become an elder, you know, you can't have that energy in your house. Nope. It'll make your spirituality weaken or something like that, they say. Okay. It will weaken your spirituality, whatever. And so like the parents are like, yeah, okay, like we need to get her out of here because she's not budging. So the parents say, you know, daughter, you gotta go. You can't stay here unless you change your ways and your mind. You gotta go. And the daughter's like, Mom, Dad, where am I going to go? I'm only 16. And they're like, well, you made your choice. You know, you made your choice. Daughter figures it out, some shape, form, or fashion. Hopefully she doesn't get on drugs. Hopefully she, you know, figures it out in the good way. And she can either struggle a whole lot and live a hard life, or she can, you know, really set herself up really good, or somewhere in between. We don't know, right? Daughter never comes back. It's been 20 plus years, maybe even 30 years. Parents are getting older. The daughter reached out a couple of different times and said, hey, Mom and Dad, I miss you. Like, I just want to hear your voice. Can you please answer the phone? And the parents never respond. She did that. The daughter did that a couple times, you know, throughout the years. Parents never responded. Now, the parents are getting real old. They can barely wipe their ass and barely feed themselves. The yard hasn't been cut. There's all types of things that they need help with. And then they go to the leaders of the organization and say, hey, like, we're really struggling here. We need some help. Can you help us? And the leaders of the organization say, we don't really do that. You know, maybe go ask like this brother and sister over here, or this couple over here, or ask this single sister. She might have some free time to help you. And then, you know, the parents go and do that. But then like that couple, this brother and sister, and this single sister, they're all exasperated and they're tapped out like, hey, like, I already got my own thing going on, you know, and that's a whole different subject, because why are they so exasperated and exhausted? Because they're bogged down by all the meetings they have to go to, the field service hours they got to get, and all these other things, right? And the parents are like, dang, like, what are we going to do? They go to the elders again, like, we got some help for a while, but, you know, our health is still declining. We're like 80 something years old. Like, we really need some help. And the elders go, well, why don't you call your daughter? Remember your daughter? Call her. And they're like, we haven't talked to her in 20 plus years. Like, she reached out, but we ignored her because she's disfellowshipped and she never came back. And you want us to reach out to her?